it is my pleasure to present to you my doctor and the doctor we need to fix state government, Dr. Robert Bentley.
You know, it is, as I stood back there and listened to all these candidates, how impressed I am at all of you candidates. Y'all have done a fantastic job. Every one of you did. And you didn't have to come and brag on me. I know that we put this on tonight. But I want to commend all of you for your ability to stand up here and speak the way you spoke. All of you. You did a great job. And I can tell you, this county and this state will be well served, whichever one is elected. And so I just appreciate y'all coming. Thank all of y'all. This is such a fantastic crowd. All my friends, this is all the friends I have. But I appreciate all of you coming. I sure do. Thank you. And my wife, where is Diane? You were sitting there. Oh, there we are over here. Diane has been out of town for 3 days, and she said she wasn't going to get back, but she came in, and she's been my partner, as you know, for 44 years, and my sweet wife that I love very dearly. And I also have 3 of my sons here tonight. I saw Paul, he was here, and Luke is here, and John Mark somewhere. Oh, there he is. And then I have 2 of my granddaughters. I have Katie and Taylor. So we have most of the family here tonight. So I can tell you, this next month is going to change this election, because our name is going to be all over the state of Alabama. And so people are going to know us. We have a 28% name recognition right now, but it's not going to be a 28% name recognition at the end of this month. And so we're looking forward to these ads. I'm very excited about them, and I think you will be too. When you see them, and we're going to preview those in just a few minutes. I'm not going to talk very long, but I want to tell you a little bit. You know, we started out this campaign May the 13th of last year. Some of you came to my opening time that we toured the state in that bus that cost $2,000 a day. And Bill asked me if I still had that bus. I said, not at $2,000 a day. But we toured the state. We did a state tour. And since that time, at first, it was just Diane and I were the only team. And we toured the state. We went and spoke at all these little clubs all over the state of Alabama. We developed our platform, and as things went along, people began to accept us. They listened to us. And you know, I always have the confidence when I get up and speak and I leave that room that 80% of the people are going to vote for me. Now, that's what I like to do. I like to get out and meet people, and I like to talk to them. I think that it may be, and I don't know where it comes from, maybe it comes from my practicing medicine all these years, but I love people, and I love to talk to people. The #1 issue facing the people of the state of Alabama today is our jobs. And that's what we've got to concentrate on. Even in the governor's office, we have to concentrate on it. We can't wait for the federal government to do that. That's why this last week, I authored and passed the 2010 Reemployment Act of Alabama. That act will give companies a 50% deduction of the salary of an individual if you will hire them off the unemployment roll. Right now we have 11% unemployment in this state. 225,000 people want a job and they can't find a job. But they're more than that. We probably have 20% underemployment in this state. And like I say, any of you that have a small business, you've had to lay people off, and you know that this state really is hurting. One of the things that I promised as governor, I'm going to identify with the people in this state who don't have a job. And the people in this state who don't have a salary, I'm going to identify with them, and I will not take a salary as governor as long as unemployment is at 11%. Once it reaches full employment, which is around 5 to 6%, I'm going to take a salary again. Now Diane said, how am I going to buy any clothes? if you don't take a salary? Well, we'll just have to live off of my retirement. Let me tell you why you ought to elect me governor. And I'm going to do this very briefly, and we'll be through. We're going to get Tommy out here by 8 o'clock. I promised you, Tommy. All right. There are 3 reasons that you need to elect me governor. Number 1 is this. I have the most experience of anybody running dealing with state budgets. There's not a single candidate out there who has been involved with state budgets like I have for the last 8 years. I have helped write and rewrite the education budget every year for the last 8 years. I understand budgets. The number 1 job that the governor has to do every year is to present a balanced budget to the legislature. That's the job you have to do. If you don't understand budgets, and when next year the stimulus money will be gone, and when we're down as much as I've already talked about, we'll be down next year, you need a governor that understands what goes on in budget in the government, and you need to have a governor that understands where we can cut and how we can save money. Number 2, I'm also the candidate that has the most good ideas. Now, I know that because all the other candidates are stealing my ideas. The other day, I was in a forum down in Montgomery. Bradley Byrne presented all of his putting Alabama back to work plan. So he went through all the 20 parts and all that. He didn't go through all of them. But he handed the microphone to me. And I said, I want to tell y'all, I like Bradley Byrne's plan. I said, I like it so much that I presented it a month before he did. Now I said, I'm not saying that he stole my plan. I said, what I'm saying is both of us have very good ideas. So I said it in a lighthearted way. But I can tell you, if you listen to many of the candidates now, I can hear all of my answers coming out. We've been in 22 forums, and I can hear my answers coming back to me all the time. So I'm the candidate of ideas. And you know where that comes from? I'm the candidate of solutions because that's what I've done all my life. You know, many of you have been my patients. You go in, you wash your hands first. You shake hands with people. You sit down with them. You talk to them. You come up with a diagnosis after you examine them, and you come up with a solution. That's what you do as a doctor. Well, you know, that's what I do in government. I do that every day because I am a problem solver. But let me tell you the last thing, and this may be the most important. I know this is a Republican gathering, and I am the only one, except Tim James, and I think Tim was too young to be a Democrat when his daddy was a Democrat. But I'm the only one that's always been a Republican. The only candidate that's always been a Republican. That's me. My daddy, who was a sawmiller, was a populist Republican in Shelby County, and that's what I grew up. I grew up as a populist Republican. I've always been a Republican, and I strongly believe in Republican ideas. But let me say this, you can never accomplish anything in Montgomery unless you work with the other side. That's why I was able to pass the Reemployment Act of 2010 this last week, 102 to nothing, is because I have been able to work with both sides. I've been able to sit down. The governor's people asked me, they said, they had a bill similar. They said, why can we not get ours before the committee? Why can we not get ours passed when you got yours passed? I said, well, they like me better than they do. I was really kidding, but I really wasn't kidding. But it still is a people business. And you must work with the legislature. If you're going to be a good governor, you must work with the legislature, and you have to be able to get things accomplished. So of all my qualifications, that may be the most important. I appreciate what y'all have done tonight. This is a good crowd, and I appreciate you coming. Let me tell you, if you can't get your local people to support you, you're probably not going to win. And y'all know me. You know me personally. You've known me all these years. I love y'all, and y'all love me. You just didn't know that I could be the governor, but listen, I'm going to be the best governor you've ever had.